morning, student. Today we will study chapter 14. Today's topic is water. I hope everyone is familiar with water. Let's try to understand some basic uses of water. Water is used for drinking, bathing, cooking food, and washing our clothes and utensils, isn't it? So without water, you cannot do all this activity. Okay. Water is also required for agriculture purposes. So during sowing season, different kinds of crops needs water. So without water, they cannot survive. Water is not only used by human, but also by animals as well. From above discussion, we can conclude that water is very essential for all the living organisms. We require clean and fresh water for drinking purpose and for doing different kind of daily activities. Let me ask you one question. Have you ever thought from where this fresh water comes? So, in this chapter, we will try to find the answer to these questions, okay? Ocean and the seas cover about 3/4 surface of the earth. We know that the sea water is salty and is unfit for drinking purpose or any other agricultural activities. Despite of its shortcoming, oceans are the major source of fresh water. You may wonder how oceans are major source of fresh water if it is water is salty and unfit for any agricultural purposes. As you all know that our earth's surface is covered mostly by water. So by the process of evaporations, oceans act as a major source of fresh waters. So let us discuss in detail. During the daytime when the sun shines over ocean, seas, rivers, lakes, fields, the heat from the sun evaporates vast amount of water. This water vapor goes into the atmosphere and mixes with air and thus form the clouds. There is another way by which large amount of water vapors are added into the atmosphere, and it is done through the plants. Plants add water vapor into the air by the process of transpiration. Transpiration means the surplus of water which is released by the plant through its leaf is called the transpiration. So one question arises: do the water vapors continuously go on increasing in the air? Well, the answer to this question is no. The water vapor does not continuously increase in air, but change back to liquid state by the process of condensations. So what is condensations? The process by which the water vapor present in air condenses to form liquid on cooling is called the condensations. In the previous chapter, we already studied about evaporations and condensations. So we will not discuss much on these 2 points. Now let's see how are clouds formed. Clouds are made of droplets of water, ice crystals, particles of dust and air. The main reason for the formation of clouds is that warm air rises up. However, as the air rises up, it cools down. The warmer air can hold a large amount of water vapor. However, when this air cools down high up in the atmosphere, it can no longer hold a large amount of water vapor. Thus, the excess water vapor condenses on dust particles to form the clouds. Clouds are categorized based on their shape and height in the atmosphere. They are cirrus, cirrocumulus, altocumulus, altostratus, stratus, cumulus, cumulonimbus. Now let's discuss precipitations or rain. Rain comes when Tiny droplets of water come together to form large sized drops of water. The clouds cannot hold this large size of water, and thus they fall towards the earth in the form of rain. The falling of droplets of water from the clouds is called the precipitation. The main reason of precipitation is that clouds cool off and hence the rainfall occurs. Now let's discuss water cycles. The journey of water from the oceans to atmosphere and back to the oceans again is called the water cycle. As you can see on the diagram, the heat of the sun makes water evaporates from the oceans, rivers, the lakes, etc. The warm and light water vapor rises up in the air. They are carried towards the mountains by the wind. On higher altitudes, condensation takes place and water vapors change into clouds. On further cooling of the clouds, precipitation takes place, which causes the rain. The rain comes down to the earth and fills the surface of the earth in the form of streams and rivers, and some seep inside the earth. This flowing water finally reaches the oceans, and the cycle of process takes place again and again. Now let's see the rainwater harvesting. Rainwater harvesting is a technique of collection and storage of rain into tanks for future use. Rainwater harvesting can be done by two methods: rooftop rainwater harvesting. In this system, rainwater from the rooftop is brought down by a pipe and collected in a tank. Drain water harvesting. In this system, the rainwater flow on the roads is collected through big pipes and is directly allowed to flow into the ground. This method is done in order to increase the ground water level. Now let's discuss the effects of floods. It is a natural disaster caused by due to excessive rains. Following consequences of floods can be happens due to floods: panic, injuries and deaths. On account of panic, many old people, children and physically weak persons suffer from injuries and even die. Water level in rivers, lakes and ponds rises. Soil erosion due to rise of water level. Water washes away topsoil, making the field infertile. Next, damage to crops. Crops get submerged under water, leading to loss of productions of food grains, loss of habitats, plants and animals due to floods. Plants and living places of animals get submerged. Now let's discuss the effects of drought. It occurs due to absence of rain. During droughts, following effects are noted. Drought causes plants and animals to wither away. Crops cannot be grown. Level of groundwater falls, leading to acute water crisis. Erosion of soil by wind takes place. Famine conditions developed. Starvation, deaths of both humans and animals take place because of acute shortage of food and water. Prices of all commodities go up because of less presence of vegetables and food grains. Students, we have discussed all the important points from this chapter and I hope you understood very well. Thank you.